Money. So all right, look, let's move on from that. Good convo. Let's have a quick look back to the fixtures. So the last Premiership round. I mean, you got to start in one place.
Liverpool, yeah.
You know, Saturday, early
Smart,
kickoff.
innit?
Why did you do us like this?
No, I'm just getting all of the fixtures, innit?
Oh, yeah, you was first.
Yeah,
first
that's what I'm
on the
saying.
weekend.
Saturday, lunchtime, you know, and after beating them lot in Manchester 7-0, turn up to Bournemouth and can't get a result.
No comment.
Oh, you can't do that, mate. You literally driven here to
No,
comment.
it's fine. Like,
All right, Keith,
Nah,
you go.
it's,
so as you might not have gathered, myself and as like a Liverpool fan, if you speak to any Liverpool fan this season, they would not have gone into the Bournemouth game confident, just based on our performances.
So
this season,
Did you go into the Man United game confident?
100%.
I don't get it.
I
then.
didn't.
Why is that?
I
don't get it.
Because
I don't get
Anfield.
it.
Why is that?
Because it's Man United. You turn it on.
No, I don't get
You
it. I
have
don't
to
get
turn
that
it on.
logic.
Regardless of what you're doing, where you are, where you're at.
It's more of a game in isolation.
Yeah.
It's an isolation.
Derby.
Yeah.
Well, not
Yeah.
derby, but rivalry, innit?
Even if you play half as good as you played against Man United, you beat Bournemouth though.
That's true. But to Keith's point, it's
it's a weird season.
it's
that
one
we've
of
had.
those weird seasons. It's
So-
like the game with United. Like I said, it's one of those games in isolation. And then once you come out of that, the I don't want to say arrogance, but that kind of feeling of we just slapped United. It's Bournemouth.
Let's just
Well,
turn up. We're gonna
we'll
win.
just-
And you know the
Yeah.
crazy
We'll
thing
win.
about that game? It wasn't even a smash and grab. If Bournemouth had a little bit more quality,
Yeah.
it
Oh,
could have been a
Yeah, they could
2-0,
have scored more.
3-1,
Mm-hmm.
a 3.
But that's been indicative of Liverpool all season. You turn it on, get a good result, go into the next game, don't turn it on.
That's it.
It's flat. It's
Or
tedious.
we might turn up for like 15 minutes, like
Yeah.
the Bournemouth game, the first
For
15, 20.
15, 20 minutes. I thought we're going to win this game.
So a couple of things I want to highlight then, because we've got a few fixtures to get through. So, firstly, is the chase for top 4 over after that result?
No, it's
Yeah,
too many
really.
games to play.
No way.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
definitely
think
not.
so.
Definitely not
So you've
over.
got 12 games left. You know, you're 3 points behind Newcastle, who also have 12 games left.
I think they could pick Newcastle and United, if I'm honest.
And Tottenham. Tottenham's
hold on.
dodgy.
United are 8 points ahead on the same number of games.
I think they
8
could pick
points.
them. I think they could pick them.
So I think we're.
No, I don't think that's
I think we're
United.
playing for fourth. I think we're playing.
Yeah,
I think we're playing Spurs,
I wouldn't be surprised if they get
Spurs
to
Spurs
Man
and
United.
Newcastle.
Spurs, Newcastle, Brighton, and Brentford for fourth. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah.
I won't put Brentford in there.
Brentford are on the same amount of points as us
No, they're 1 point behind you.
with a game in hand.
Brentford
No,
are on the
same game.
decline though.
Brighton
Oh, okay.
on the same game
Oh, that's
as
it.
you.
Sorry, Brighton.
I would
And
put
with a game in hand.
Brighton in there.
Why
I
would
would.
Brentford if they're a point in it? But you think like if you check the
Ivan
season,
Toney's in
they've been
form.
consistent
Oh,
for
yeah,
the whole
he's actually, to be
season,
fair.
Yeah,
I
I
haven't
haven't
stop
really-
scoring.
and
When's his back?
everyone's going to drop
Yeah,
points.
this is bad.
I just love the fact that
Send
we're
it back
talking
in.
to Liverpool
About
with Super Mo and all the whole team.
And the
we're
competition.
worried
Right,
about
Hold on,
Brentford.
hold on. Stat man, pull up Mo's stats for the season.
Where's
No,
Fulham?
but they're like-
Fulham in there
This
as well.
is the thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
People would
Does
diss
that
Mo
disparage Mo Salah?
for no reason.
It's almost like you guys read my mind. That was going to be the second point. So, you know me, innit? I'm football first when it suits. Like, Mo's stats for anyone
There we
else
go.
are a joke. You cannot
Because he's
rubbish
an
them.
alien.
You can't rubbish them, right? But for him, and obviously he got the big contract, with the talisman, etc., etc. Is it good enough? Let's take all the recency bias. You know what football fans are like now with Twitter. Let's look at it objectively, honestly. Yes, his numbers in isolation are fantastic, you know, for what he's scored so far. But for a player of his level, his stature, is it good enough? I have my opinion, but I'm gonna wait and give it to you, let you guys.
Personally, I don't think he's done enough. Outside of doing, all right, cool. His job is to put the ball in the back of the net. Cool. That's what he's paid for. Could he do a bit more in terms of helping out the team in other areas? I personally feel when I'm watching the games, I feel like he could do a bit more, but then it's unfair to say that if the rest of the team is playing so bad.
Yeah, and my point is, Mo's put the ball in the back of the net. You've got assists. Fair enough.
11 goals though. It's not setting the world
No,
up.
but
Prem
if you,
goals.
but I'm talking season in totality. He's on 20 plus goals and assists, which is good for a striker. But Mo Salah's never been the carrier of Liverpool. He's always had support in terms of Mane, You
I
know,
was
you know,
going to
like I'm
touch on
crazy.
that. I was going to touch on that. I'm thinking
He's-
maybe he's missing Mane.
No one has ever said
Fair.
Liverpool are going to win this game
Yeah.
solely on Mo Salah.
No, you're right.
He's always
You're
had people playing at elite level
right. Yeah, it's true.
with him
Around
since
him.
he's been there. This is the
True.
first season
Yeah.
that this has occurred.
And it's
And
funny.
he's still putting up respectable numbers.
It's interesting because there is a Liverpool fan I know. I won't shout his name because he'll kill me. But he has been banging on about that point about Mo for years. And he's been rubbish because obviously Mo has been slapping numbers, right?
Mhm.
But he's always said it's the Mane
Mhm.
factor, it's the
I think
Firmino
everyone-
factor.
Everyone.
in
I said
there,
that from when they got rid of him.
Can see that Mane and Firmino were a big part of.
Yeah.
And the rest of the team. Like I know that front three was phenomenal, but I don't want to dwell on Liverpool too long. But all the levels of
No,
drop.
we can stay as long as we need to.
No,
innit?
What's the next fixture?
Because
No,
no, I think
okay, but
Mo's been good. He's been good in numbers, as in he's still got his goals. I think it's more his performances that
Yeah,
have dropped.
agreed.
Like,
Yeah.
everything outside the goal. I think the numbers that he's got this season, I think is good enough. Yeah. I think it's more his performances away from
But
the,
this is my point.
in the actual games.
Because of the levels of previous regimes, those performances have been masked. If you go back and watch Liverpool last season before, even since he's been, Mo has some stinkers.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I
But-
don't think he's changed, bro.
But because the levels have dropped around him significantly, it's been highlighted because everyone's like, why is he doing
Yeah, but
why
let's
is he
not
doing
do
this?
but let's
Why
not
isn't
do that though, because he's been rewarded as well for his level he's brought to the team, right? And he was been rewarded to the point where they had to pick between him or Mane, right? So let's not act like it's just a perception thing. He's factually been rewarded with his new contract, highest paid player in New York's history, to the point where they had to even make a choice between, well, we don't know for sure, but allegedly
the rumours, yeah.
there was a budgeting point. You know, If
Yeah.
you pay him that money, well, and I'm Mane, I want close to it. We're not doing that here. We're not working out the wage structure. So, even despite that, he has been rewarded for his level. So I guess I don't think it's unreasonable to judge Mo against the level he's set, even from a numbers point of view. He's not going to reach that this year after you've been rewarded for being a talisman. So I don't think it's wrong for people to expect that you maintain that level.
You have
And
to
if you
get
don't,
at him.
you get
Yeah, I
criticised.
think. All right, cool. As much,
You see what I mean?
All right, I'm gonna sound a bit contradictory. Yes,
Mm.
yes, cool. I'm of the mindset that he should be earning his wage.
Mm,
You understand? But in totality, if the whole team,
Yeah.
if the whole team's performance dips,
Mm.
then you kind of can't be mad at him for
True.
dipping as well.
Yeah.
But dip it as much as it has.
I mean,
Yeah, man.
I mean,
It's
not-
okay,
it's
it's
not
not.
a
It's not a
dip.
crazy
It's-
dip.
The
not a
pieces of the
crazy
puzzle
deal.
around him have changed dramatically.
Think about it. Remember last season?
Dramatically.
Sorry, last season he didn't score a goal between January and March.
Yeah, I know. I ripped you by every week, mate.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like the dip.
And you still
not-
gave him
it's
the big,
not
and you still
bad.
gave him
It's
the big
not-
contract.
Yeah,
It's
because he
not-
got the golden boot.
It's not
Well,
crazy.
Yeah, but
But-
the dip is a dip, but he's still got the golden boot. He's not getting that this year.
No, he's not.
Even without Haaland, he wouldn't get that.
No one was getting it this year.
No,
other than-
no. But even if you take out the alien, Harry's on 20.
Yeah, but Harry's always in and around.
Having 20
That's
is
fine.
what?
Anyway,
My point,
shout out
Tony's
Bournemouth.
up.
Shout out Bournemouth. Good result.
Yeah, let's be
All right.
Bounce off the back of the Arsenal
Let's
game.
move
At the end of the day,
on.
you got to reward him at the end of the day,
Seems
right?
a bit personal.
Just quickly, you got to reward him at the end of the day, but the pieces of the puzzle around him has completely changed, brother.
All right.
It's not the same Liverpool, so we can't expect him to be.
I'm a Mo fan. Yeah, I think he's mad. I just find it interesting, and I used to hate this theory, but the evidence is building about how when players get a certain contract, things just don't seem to be the same again. And we've had a few examples of that now at different clubs.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to buy into the theory, but I might have to go and do a little counter.
It'll be interesting to see how he does next season.
Yeah.
Because then he would have spent more time
And
with
I'm
Gakpo
still-
and Nunes.
Should
and
he
the
probably go
midfield.
next
I'm still
season?
of the mindset. His
Should he go?
numbers are not bad. Like I know he got the contract, but if it wasn't Mo,
They're
you'd be
not-
saying this person's having a good season.
Yeah, but he is Mo, which is why he has got the contract.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
You got to judge him by
You have to
himself.
judge
Yeah.
him.
He's not having a
Judge
terrible
him.
season, and to Daz's point,
Judge
it's
him by
also
his
about
own standards.
performances.
Mm.
Yeah, you judge him by his own standards. It's about performances as well. So that's
Yeah.
that's
Okay, I'll give you that.
that's
Question
Let's,
quickly,
let's
yeah?
see what happens next.
Before, without your Liverpool hat on,
Okay,
should he leave Liverpool?
We're still on this topic.
That's
No,
a
but
good
should he leave?
question. No,
Just
that's a
very
good-
quickly,
that's a
should
good
he
question.
should he leave Liverpool?
Just
Because
payback.
Through Mo.
let's assume Liverpool may or may not be on the decline. Yeah, he's getting to an age where he probably wants to go and explore other clubs. Sorry,
That's
You're
getting a
not
bit late
getting
for
anywhere,
him.
bro.
To be fair,
Especially-
Especially if they
okay.
don't make top 4.
where the mo-
especially if you don't.
okay,
Mm.
so if we don't make top
It's a good
4,
shot, you know.
It's
I
a
don't
question.
I don't think anyone leaves.
If you don't make top 4,
if we don't make
I
top
agree.
4, it doesn't impact anyone leaving. Impacts what we do in signings. Right.
Bellingham.
That's the only- that's the
Bellingham.
Look at it this way.
Bellingham,
Who's
no
paying
chance.
the money for Mo now and giving him the wages? Who? At his age.
PSG.
You think so?
yeah, 100%.
Nah, if you-
100%.
I think Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid would be an option.
Nah, I don't
Well,
think Real Madrid.
I think Real
I think
Madrid
it's
will
just
be-
PSG.
Real Madrid have changed their strategy. They're getting younger. Look
Yeah.
at the people they're buying. The PSG talk now is they finally realised,
Yeah.
Neymar.
that the Galactico model might not be working.
and on top of that, they've missed a wealth of talent within France.
Yeah, because of
Exactly.
that.
And the youngsters, Tchouameni going to Real Madrid, Camavinga
Yeah,
going to Real
So
Madrid.
you're right.
I think
Maybe.
someone in Italy would give him the money.
Nah, I'm not sure.
No, I don't
They're
think
broke
so.
out
I'm not
there,
sure
man.
they're too
I don't
broke,
think
man.
so. I don't think so. So
What,
I don't get me wrong. I'm not
eBay?
saying he couldn't go somewhere and be a top earner.
Mm.
But if I'm Mo now, got this contract, I've won a top, I've done all this stuff. Why did I go through all that stress to now leave after one season and go somewhere else and maybe get less money? And I'm not any more guaranteed unless he goes to Real Madrid or where else.
I think it's just PSG, bro. Unless he goes to PSG,
So
he's not
okay,
getting
maybe if
contract.
PSG stick to the same strategy, they don't change, which is going to be
Bayern
unbelievable.
go back with Mane.
Nah,
Nah,
they,
buying
they,
him, man.
they won't buy him.
Mane ain't
They
They're
won't
not
pay
paying
his
the money,
wages.
bro.
They won't
Mane
pay
ain't
his wages.
interested. Mane ain't interested.
He's not, is he?
I'm not with that.
He's a good guy, but he might nick a pen off too. In
Yeah, Mane's he's in the boardroom. Don't do that. Please,
All right,
don't
so
do that.
so just picking out a couple of other fixtures. Chelsea. What do we think now? Because if we recorded this pod 2 or 3 weeks ago, it's doom and
Peak.
gloom. Potter's on his
Potter's
last
not the
legs. They've bought everyone and their mum, and it's not working.
Potter's not the guy.
Couple of wins. They beat Leicester 3-1. Nothing to shout about, but still a win. Havertz has scored a few games in a row now. What are we saying?
It's pretty plain and simple, really. Potter's definitely not the guy, but they've
He's
gone and
used the word
spent.
definitely.
He's definitely not the guy.
Why?
He's. I want to say laid back, but I don't know if that's the right.
I want him to just-
I don't think him being laid back is the right way to approach him not being a guy. I think he's not the guy just because I think this project is a step too far. I think the egos in the dressing room
Yeah, it's gonna get to that.
might be too big for him to handle.
Yeah.
do you think they know what the project is?
The project at the moment is just
But-
buy young,
Yeah,
put
but I feel
them
like
on long term
Yeah,
I feel
contracts.
like
That's
this
a good question.
project
I
you
think they
can't
know what it
fail
is.
No.
because they're just gonna keep throwing money at it. Money. If this don't work,
No,
that's
they
gonna
won't.
work.
They
If
won't
that
keep
don't
throwing
work,
money.
that's gonna work.
They won't
No,
keep
I
throwing
think
money.
they will.
They've spent a lot
I
now.
think
It's
they
just,
will.
there's a cap now. They won't keep
I
throwing
think
money.
model of
I think-
ownership. I don't think
Mm.
they can just keep throwing money.
They
It has
won't.
to work like a
They
normal
won't.
business.
They probably won't spend much in the
But-
next transfer window.
I think they know
think
what
they
the
will.
project is. We'll see if the hypothesis comes through, but they want to buy the best young talent, have them nurture at Chelsea, and if for some reason some of them don't work out or come through, they can sell.
Just recycle.
Yeah, sell
just
at a profit.
recycle.
So they're basically doing what they would do with the youth team, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but like 5 years older.
That's
Like,
mad.
you know what they did
And
with Hudson Odoi and all
100
them, man?
million more.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
But-
just to flesh out that point
Mm.
about Potter not being the guy, I think what he did at Brighton, he's tried to do here at Chelsea, and I don't think that's the right approach. I don't think that it's a one size fits all. I think he's had to learn. He's had to learn to adapt, but I don't think he's able to do so. That squad that Chelsea have, I'm not saying any manager can walk in. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I'm saying a decent or a very good manager will be able to get something out of that squad.
Do
Yeah,
you think
fact.
it would have been easier if they didn't make all these signings? So they had
It was dying. before
they had
made
a
this
fairly decent squad before the January transfer window.
I think this squad is much
much better. It was
No,
dying
but I mean,
before they made
do you
the
think
signs, bro.
it would be easier for him
Yeah,
if
with
all
that
the
squad.
if all these signings didn't come in
yeah.
in January and kind of been a bit of a disruptor? Because I don't think the majority of those signings
Understood.
he went, oh, get me him. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
No, they're club
So-
signings. Club signings.
Yeah,
all of them.
Yeah, so I
Totally
think
come in and
if
just
those
work.
signings didn't come in, do you think it would have been a bit more easier for him to kind of settle it and then maybe in the summer go out and do the big signings and maybe
No,
make-
because they
you just think he's not the guy at
because
all?
I seen the point you made about with Crystal Palace
yeah.
and Vieira and whatnot. I think with Potter coming into Chelsea, it's not. He doesn't have that luxury. It was never good. And a new owner who wants to put his footprint on the league. You saw
Yeah.
how he came in and was already suggesting new ways to run the league. They want immediate results. They want to see an instant return on investment. Do you understand? So I don't think he was going to be. I don't think he was going to have that time to just. Oh, it's going to.
But
be
his
easy
results
to
were
just
better
relax.
So
pre the transfer window.
No, they understood.
Yeah.
Understood.
If you check his results, when he joined, they were 4th or 5th. No,
They went a few games without winning a game. You know?
I'm pretty sure that. I'm pretty
I think
sure.
if you compare the results to when he started to post January, his results pre January were better.
I think he'll
Yeah, they
improve.
were.
I think
Yeah.
he'll improve though. Give him
I
time.
really improved.
Hold on,
Give
let me just finish my point. I think he wouldn't have had that time, right? A lot of people say it's easy. The squad you get, you come in, you just bed in with that. I don't think so. I think it was the right time. He's come in. It's not really kind of gone the way he would have hoped, which would have been win after win after win. New players have come in, better quality. I think you go, right, cool, we've got these new players in. They might not be the players you want, but you've got better players.
I don't know how he remembers everyone's name. I'm not going to even.
Let's lock in with what we have. Figure it out. Get them firing. You're not at Brighton no more, where you've had to grind and no one's expecting much.
Yeah.
You're at a team with high expectation. You've got to step up to the plate. He hasn't done so far.
Just
So I
go on,
don't-
does.
No, I think next season. I think at the moment it's just been a whirlwind. He hasn't had time to even catch his mind and be like, "What do I want to do?"
You don't have that time.
The guys just come in, but I think they're going to give him time.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they're going to give him. This season's nothing happening this season, but give him the pre-season to sit down, take stock, look at his squad, say, I want this person,
Do the
that
revolving
person.
door.
Basically everyone's gonna. I think starting next season, I think that's when his job really starts, because this season's just been like.
And to be honest, I don't think you want to buck Chelsea next season if they're not in Europe.
Bro,
Like,
Yeah, that's
Chelsea with no Europe next season is a problem.
And
That's if he's got it right by that point.
And if you just think about to
Thank
the
you.
point,
It's not an automatic.
It's not.
yeah,
all
no,
right.
it's true. But I actually think I have a slightly different view. I actually think they bought Potter for certain reasons, right? He built a track record of being able to work with good players who are young, kind of rough and ready, make them play in a pretty rigid system. He could change the players out, the system still worked, etc. So when they're buying the players, all these young players, when you're listening to some of the experts in those leagues, French league, etc., they're saying, look, this guy's good, but he's a bit rough. He needs some polishing. He's played however many games in the French league or this league. That's Potter players. That sounds like the kind of players Potter. A level above, don't get me wrong, they're not buying Caicedo directly from the Ecuadorian league or whatever it is, but it's a level above. So actually, they've gone a bit far with the number, probably second only to Forest. But I think the type of coach you've hired, the profile of players they're buying, let's ignore the way they've bought them and the funky 8-year contracts and all that stuff. That's all accounting. It kind of all adds up. And then if you do have to get rid of him, and you go out and get a decent manager, Potter's not decent, but to get a decent manager,
elite manager.
he's still got fantastic tools to
Okay,
work
you're
with.
giving him sort of
Yeah, so I actually think-
rough diamonds to work with.
I actually think Potter's going to get pre-season, as long as they don't end up in relegation fight, which I don't think they are. I think Potter gets pre-season, and if he's not cooking on gas by October, November, hold it.
Yeah.
Side
I agree with
question.
that.
Side question.
Yeah.
If Potter's still at Brighton, do you think they're doing as good as they are under the Zerbi?
I think so. I think so. Why not?
I think
He was doing good
De
before he
has
left.
upped them a little bit.
I think De Zerbi's turned the levels up.
I think he's upped them a little bit.
If we look at the numbers, but remember, Brighton always had an issue with
Scoring
scoring
goals.
and winning games.
Yeah.
That's one of the things De Zerbi has changed.
But how much? Because personally, he hasn't really changed much, right? So when you're looking at what
Well, they've
Potter
lost
did.
Trossard.
when you're looking at what besides that, but when you're looking at what Potter did at Brighton versus what De Zerbi is doing, there's not that much of
So
a
I'm not
difference.
it's not that much of a difference, but the difference is quite significant. Is
Yeah.
important.
So I think Potter made them an established Premiership team.
Yep.
I think De Zerbi's on the cusp of taking them to challenging for Europe.
I think that would have happened gradually, so naturally, with Potter still there.
But no,
I think that would have happened.
I don't
I
think
think
it would happen this
accelerated it.
season.
He's
Yeah.
definitely accelerated.
Yeah, I don't think-
I think it's accelerated.
I think it's
Yeah.
accelerated.
Yeah.
that
Oh, yeah,
process.
massively.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if you have a
Definitely.
quick look at
Mm.
just things like goals they scored at this point of the season and last year, Potter's problem was always
The drop off.
the goal. I remember one season he had drawn so many games over a period of time. He hadn't won for a game, but he hadn't lost a game for a period of time. So I think De Zerbi has definitely added a bit more attacking impetus. I think they are. I don't want to say better in front of goal, but one way or another, they're scoring more goals. He's giving a young striker a chance. So I think he's gone in there, worked with the base of it.
And he's tweaked because he plays McAllister's a 10 now,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
Potter played him in the middle.
Yeah.
And these small things like that
exactly.
are paying off.
He
McAllister
played him
scoring.
more like a 6. McAllister.
Yeah,
It was
but
really,
McAllister scoring more goals.
And they would have
like-
employed De Zerbi because they thought it's complementary to what Potter left there. So I think Potter would have progressed, don't get me wrong. But I think De Zerbi has just added a little bit more, a little bit quicker.
Yeah, and it
So-
kind of shuts up Graham Souness as well for that.
Yeah, well, typical nonsense from him. I'm not afraid to say that. So we think overall consensus, Potter stays in his job. Do we think this Chelsea? I don't want to call it a resurgence, but are they on a little run now?
Nah.
If I look at the
Too much
You
inconsistency.
can't say no.
I think they're
I'll say
missing
no.
a striker.
Yeah.
The last
Other
couple of
than
games, you
playing
can't say
Liverpool,
no.
Who they got in there?
Well, they've not played. They've not played anyone.
We can't keep saying that.
That's why they beat Leeds, they beat Dortmund, they beat Leicester.
All
5.
games, I expect them to win.
But they were losing
People
games. You expect them to
Boy,
win.
they lost at home to
They were
Southampton.
losing games. You expect them to win.
So Everton tomorrow,
They should win
then
that.
Villa on the 1st of April, then it's Liverpool and Wolves.
Where's that Everton games? At home or away?
I don't think it matters.
At home.
The next 3 games at home. So, Chelsea, Everton, Chelsea, Villa, Chelsea, Liverpool. I'll be honest, I'll judge them after
When-
the Villa game.
I'll judge them when Madrid
Until they
turn up.
lose another game. You judge them what? After Madrid. Until they lose another game and how they lose the game and whether they lose the next game after that, you can't say they haven't turned the corner. As it stands right now, they've turned the corner.
Yeah. Okay. And then if we look at the rest of the league, look, Everton got a good win at Brentford. I mean, the Everton story is just Sean Dyche again, another manager. No one likes his style. Well,
I
let
hope
me not
they
say no one
go
likes his
down.
style. People ridicule his
I
style.
hope they get relegated.
Yeah, we know why. But just objectively,
I'm praying on it.
yeah.
Wow.
I don't like Everton either.
That's
It's
hard.
kind of worth it. I don't mind
I
Everton.
don't like them.
Look, I don't mind Dyche either, Like,
Is
I
it?
know he turned Burnley
What?
into... Hear me out. I know he turned Burnley into a Brexit playing football team. But he brought them up from the doldrums to an established Premiership team.
Yeah.
And granted, he had a blip. Was it back in the last season? He got
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
got relegated though, innit?
no. He didn't get them relegated. Like
I
he
know.
left before.
They
Ah,
don't get
but
relegated.
the reason
That's
why
like-
they-
But
yeah.
there's no
exactly.
guarantee he would have got them down.
I know
Yeah.
for a fact
He
he's
knows
already
like the
told
last-
Iwobi and Damari Gray,
Swear up.
pack your bags.
but
Mad.
you got to say he had them as an established Premiership team for like 3-4 years. Like
Yeah, you can separate
can't-
the two.
Mm.
I'm not
Yeah.
a big fan of his football. I'm not that big fan of the way his personality comes across. But at the end of the day, with little to no resources, he kept the
don't-
team up.
I think he
Yeah,
suits
it don't-
Everton because I've never known Everton really to play
Yeah,
great
Everton-
football.
Everton tried to play
Everton in a way, like their owners.
I mean, they play.
Haven't got a
good
plan.
football.
Tried to play
Lukaku
football.
was terrorizing your defense.
Oh,
Hey,
wow.
hey, yo.
Wow. Is that where we're going?
Not mine.
I'm just saying.
Is
listen,
that where we're
I'm not
going?
To play good football, I just
Don't worry.
But
Don't
why
worry.
you- why you isolate that one game, though?
Liverpool will disgrace him again this season. We'll get him back.
That's
It's
fine.
fine.
But
It's
yeah,
fine.
Everton, I don't
Alright.
think Everton have a clear
Ouch.
identity of what they want to do. They've been flirting relegation for however many years now. They've changed managers loads of time. To be fair, if any of those teams from 12th down get relegated, I wouldn't be surprised, man. I don't think you can say anyone's too big to go down anymore.
No,
I think that those days are over because
No, to a
The-
degree, bro.
Huh?
To a degree. If you're talking about the teams below 10th, then fine. But there are teams above that that are too big to go
I
down.
think
Oh,
I'll pick
Newcastle.
yeah, but no, but it's
The
only really
Liverpool
reserved.
one,
It's only really
Newcastle's
reserved for teams
there was a
Like
point when
in the
Newcastle.
lower-
Newcastle now are too
Yeah.
big to go down.
in the lower
But
end.
even before they went down, they were too big to go. They were playing Champions League football at one point.
I remember West Ham went down one year when you would have
Yeah.
thought they were too good to go down.
Yeah, they go down, man.
Exactly.
Wigan were
Everton-
established, they went down.
Mm.
And because of the money in the league now, the lower teams don't really need to sell. They only, like, take Brighton, for example. They didn't need to sell their best players in
Yeah.
the transfer window.
Yeah.
Like, the disparities at the higher echelons, it's there. But lower down,
But again,
anyone
similar to
can
what-
get it.
Similar to what I was saying to Vieira, if you're Dash, you just need to pick up some points. You'd have to go on a crazy run.
Mm.
7 Prem games. He's won 2, drawn 1, lost the rest, right?
Yeah.
Even if he replicates that for the next 7, they probably stay up.
I think they
Keep
will
up,
stay. I
yeah.
think that's what they'll
Yeah,
do.
you should stay up.
Every 3 games, it will get a 1-0 win.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
It'll get a 1-0 win every 3 games. That's what he
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, fair. All right. We already talked about Palace. I don't want to talk too much about Man City. We know the deal is there. They're on the chase. Haaland is motoring through very, very quickly. Just thinking of some of the bits we got to get through.
They're winning the title.
Allow it, man. They're not.
Okay.
So I I would
I'm
say
standing on it.
Arsenal getting knocked out yesterday is a massive
Test.
benefit for Arsenal.
It's definitely a
But
benefit.
basically,
It's
because
definitely a benefit.
if you had stayed in the competition, your games would always be on a Sunday.
No, it's Saturday.
City,
No, it's Saturday.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, you would have City would not both play the Saturday or the early game on the Sunday.
Yep.
You go to the game knowing you have to win.
But what about the potential mental impact of losing last night? So we've got a bit of a double situation now.
Mm-hmm.
The guys have lost yesterday, and the manner of the loss as well. A little bit of a wobble from Ramsdale, the penalty loss, all of that. Then we've got Palace come in. They might have a new, but it could go both ways. They just fall apart and we clap them, or there's a bit of a new manager bounce.
All right.
So that could mean Sunday's a banana skin, and then that could start a spiral.
Everyone wants to win, right?
Yes.
I'm not saying no one gets in the game they don't want to win. Everyone wants to win trophies,
Of course.
right? That's the aim of the game. Do you think they really care?
I don't think they do.
I
What
think
about
they do.
yesterday?
I think they do.
I think it's gone.
I think,
No,
I think it's gone.
I think the manager definitely does.
I think it's
And
gone.
you've seen all or nothing.
Yeah.
Arteta cares about everything.
I think he cares.
Yeah,
He
no,
cares
I
about
think-
getting
I
to
think-
training.
I think
care
Arteta
about.
calls-
You think they care about deep down
I
when
hope
the
they
Premier
don't.
when the Premier League?
Arteta cares, yeah, but
I hope
should.
don't.
the manner in which we lost yesterday, I don't think
they
it's going to affect the way we
But
go
you know
forward.
what?
I
I
Like,
think it's going to be a
you're right.
benefit.
You say that, like, you guys haven't lost many games this season.
Kind
Every
of.
time you've lost a game, you've bounced back.
True.
Hate it.
But this,
But I got to give Arsenal credit, man. Like, when you lost to Man City,
Yeah.
I was like,
this is it.
Everyone thought it was gone. Yeah, everyone
yeah,
thought
like
it
I was like, you know what?
Mm.
They're
Even
gonna,
Arsenal
they're
fans
gonna
did.
get shaky
Mm.
now. Turned it on, and it pains me to say it
Why does it pain you so much?
because I hate you Arsenal fans,
Why?
man. Like,
good.
I don't hate
We're the
Arsenal as an
good guys, though.
establishment.
We're the good guys.
It's just
not
some
these
of the
Arsenal
fans. It's just some of the fans.
Yeah, but all fans.
but
I think you said
say
it.
on record. It's not
You,
these
you said it a
Arsenal
couple of days ago.
Yeah,
all
all
fans are
fans.
like this, bro.
Mark's been
No.
skating on the edge.
You said
But
it the
fam,
other day.
I'm
All
not gonna
fans
digress.
are like this.
Yeah.
I'm
All
not gonna-
fans are
I'm
like
not-
when
I'm
you lot were riding high.
You
We
were
didn't like
exactly-
you lot
We're
either.
saying-
We're
Right
segueing.
that
We're segueing.
Come
What
on.
I'm saying is,
Alright.
what I'm saying is, Arsenal have lost big games. Like, the Man City game was billed as a big game.
Mm.
You've lost it. You lost to Everton. Bounce back. I don't think they will have any impact on what Arteta has put in his squad, and what he's put in his squad compared to last season. I don't know how you are here.
So I
Like-
think it hinges on what Isaac said. If they don't care, Sunday, dust themselves off, do the thing. If they do care a little bit, because they're young, they want to win everything, right? They
Yeah.
want to. Then I think it's a slight.
But John,
it's a
I think
mental
they'll
hurdle to
still
get
win.
over.
I think they'll still win Sunday,
Mm.
but I
You
don't
got Fulham
think
on
going
Sunday,
out.
isn't
No, got
Palace.
Palace.
Oh,
we just dealt with
sorry.
it.
I think they'll
Palace at
win,
home.
Sorry.
but I don't think I've heard people say today that going out last night increases our chances of winning the
It
league.
does.
I don't personally believe that.
Why
I
not?
don't think so.
It's double edged.
I feel less confident today about winning the league as what I did yesterday.
I agree.
But why though?
Because we went out yesterday.
Because
Okay.
winning
went
builds
out.
momentum.
Yeah.
No, okay, but hear this.
Yeah.
Hear this.
Winning-
Hear this quickly.
Winning breeds winning.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
because we had those Europa games, he could tinker the squad a little bit. And it keeps the whole squad involved.
Yeah.
Now, there's certain man there, they don't end up playing for the rest of the season.
But,
No,
but
them man ain't starting anyway.
But going back-
They ain't
Everyone
starting
was in
anyway.
it together.
But
Everyone
if you look back in the games that you have lost and the way you bounce back, why are you not confident that you'll do
I'm
it
not saying
again?
I'm not confident. I just said I'm less confident. Yeah, I said I'm less
But
confident.
Daz, hear this.
Chipped away
Mm.
5-10% of my confidence.
I
Daz-
think it puts more pressure
Yeah,
on
I
the
agree.
league
Listen,
now,
the way we
because
lost
we haven't
yesterday-
got that fullback option.
The way we lost yesterday, first and foremost, fair enough, it's a loss because we lost on penalties, but we didn't actually
Yeah, it
lose
was
the
a
game.
draw. Yeah, it was a
So
draw. The match was
you
a
can't
draw.
really. I don't think in the players' heads they're going to think, "Oh, we lost. Oh,
Them
we're bred."
coaching badge
And then-
answers, I like that.
And then, if you look at the squad that we put out, yes, it was a strong squad, but it wasn't our full starting 11. And he took off certain players based on the minutes that they were due to get in that game.
And
So
the
it's not going to be a
injuries.
given that
Mm.
oh,
Don't get me
every
wrong.
player is
I hope
disheartened.
you're right. I hope you're right. I don't feel it. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah,
I
because
don't
we've
feel
lost.
it.
Naturally, as a
do you
fan, you
think-
want us to win every
Yeah.
game.
Do you think that it has
Injuries.
put more pressure on these 11 games now because you've got all your eggs in one basket and you haven't got a fullback option?
Not really, because if you look at the players that got injured, for example, yesterday, if we didn't have a Europa League game yesterday, Saliba wouldn't be injured right now.
Yeah.
So
So
you-
so you think City are winning the league,
100%.
right? We've got 11 games left. I always said if we get to 10 games, I'll believe. I was clearly lying because I'm still a little bit
Yeah,
nervous.
you want to get that to 5 now.
Call
Yeah.
it, call it
I said
PTSD.
34
Keep
games.
knows. When City start rolling,
That's your PTSD, though. That's your PTSD.
So look,
I'm saying that's why I think they'll win the league.
my fan logic
Mm.
kind of says to me, we get to the City game in the same position we're in now.
Mhm.
then I might believe. Because even if we lose that game, even though it's tight, it's squeaky bum time, you're still ahead. I just think psychologically, if they go ahead, it's two things. One, the time to claw it back, and two, your momentum's with you. So we got to maintain the gap, for me, at least 4 points. We're going into that game. That's my view.
I think the next movement is crucial. The next movement in points, which team now drops point first.
I get this.
And
though.
I'm homing in on that
On
Man
Liverpool.
City Liverpool
Exactly.
game.
So we go to Crystal Palace.
We
Hopefully
have
we
to
get
beat
8 points.
Palace, and I'm
You
homing
know
in
what?
on
I
that
ain't
game.
Arsenal fans saying this.
Yeah.
You got to come Anfield, fam.
No, forget that.
No, but I'm just saying.
I get
But
that. I get that. But
Everyone's saying no.
psychologically,
You're
though,
there first.
We
forget
got-
that for
we-
now, though. But psychologically, if we go 8 points clear of the Crystal Palace game, and then you lot do a job on City, and we're still 8 points clear,
Don't
so that
don't
gap-
bank
Yeah.
on us.
psychologically,
We're not
banking on you, but
it's the other side of the psychology game, because then you've got the break, you've got the 2 weeks, and we almost need you to do a job on them. So if it's a draw or we lose at Anfield, it's an equalizer. You understand? But I'm not banking on it.
I'm just saying,
I'm
we've
not-
played 3 12-30 games this season and
Yeah,
haven't
it's not
won.
good.
But that's what I'm looking at. 12:30
So hopefully
after
we get-
international break. Players we're back late. I'm thinking.
That's even worse. That's even more
No,
reason
but
to
Man
doubt
City got
Liverpool
the
at
same
moment.
issue.
That's even more reason to doubt Liverpool at the moment.
So between now and the Arsenal game, we've got City Liverpool in the first. There's a City West Ham game that needs to be played, and depending on when that's played, West Ham
might be scrapping
might be
points.
scrapping for their life. Sorry, City Liverpool, City Southampton, City Leicester, Brighton City, which I don't think is a banker at all, and then it's City Arsenal. So yeah, and at that point when we play them after that game, there's 5 games left. Hence,
I
my
agree with
theory.
you. You need a 4-point
Yeah,
gap
hence
for
my
that
theory
game.
is that at that point, 5 games left. If it's 5 points before that game, no matter what happens at that game, you got 5 games to
That was my only
finish.
That was my only disappointment about Sunday, is that I thought that we had an opportunity to get closer in the goal difference.
Yeah.
3-0 up at half time.
we did.
You could get, if you could really go for it, you could have got another couple of goals there and really made the
That
goal
touch
difference
I
get a
think
lot
it's Arsenal's,
closer.
to be fair.
Because that's an extra point. Goal difference is an extra point.
Yeah.
I can't say it yet, man.
Yeah, no, like I wouldn't expect you, man, to say it.
No, we're too far out.
You man-
We're way
you-
too
you
far
man
out.
sitting on the
11
fence.
games.
Hey, we can do a job on City, though. Don't think that game is.
No, I'm
Yeah,
not talking about the game.
yeah.
I'm talking about the title.
I get that, but we can do a job on City, and if we win that game, and I'm not, so I won't be surprised
So
if we do.
what changes?
You're looking at me.
No,
but
we
I'm
can win that
delivering
game.
What
it.
changes from the game that was it Emirates you played them when they beat you?
Yeah.
What changes?
Nothing needs to really change. When we played them in the FA Cup, we was all over them with a weak inside. When we played them at our ground, it wasn't like a
Mauling, yeah.
It wasn't a mauling.
So you don't
We
think
both
anything
played ball.
psychological there? at all?
No, there's no psychological. We're going to be up for the game just for the fact that they beat us.
Yeah. And at that point, to your point, Kit, it just depends. If we're going in it's the same thing. We win, they win, we win, they win. Then psychologically,
I think if we draw that game, we win it. If we draw that game.
yeah.
I think you'll win it. I'm not sure if you'll beat City at.
I don't think so.
At
I
the
think
Emirates.
City is slapping
But
them.
I think you'll. I think you'll win the league.
Draw.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, cool. But obviously, they can't go with a draw.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah,